Hey guys, what's going on? It's the Mad Stacker here with another Most Wanted. This time I decided to do one of my favorite themes, and that is giant robots. You can see here, this is just an interview of what I have right now. 135 sets, 128 different, way too much stuff, way too expensive. We've determined that already. Let's get right into the giant robots. First up, this is 30263, the Spider Crawler. This is a Chima poly bag that I haven't seen yet. I don't know if it's out yet. It says it's promotional, so I don't know if, in fact, we'll ever get it. But I do really like little spider robots. I think this one's no exception. I've always been a fan of the poly bag or smaller type sets, and this one's really good. The way it uses the blasters and just the legs. It looks like a tiny little spider. And of course it's got Sparadus, who I'm a pretty big fan of in terms of the Chima minifigures. Next up, 9455, the Fangpire Mech. This is from Ninjago from 2012, back when they fought snake people. Skeletons, snakes, and now robots. So it's going pretty well. And look at Snapper. I didn't know this one came with Snapper. Why does he have a banana? That doesn't make any sense. This is a cool snake-looking mech. I really like the way the hands are built. I really like the way the head is put together. This whole thing is just really neat. It's sort of a squat little mech, which is not something you see much of anymore. Next up, 8105, the Iron Condor from the Exoforce line. This thing is just really neat. It's got giant wings. All the Exoforce mechs were like crazy posable. This thing would be really cool to get my hands on. Unfortunately, it might be a little difficult at this point. Only 141 pieces, so not that much to put together. And I've been looking through these. It's a theme that I always like, the ones with Devastator being the included one. The sole Exoforce set that I have is piloted by Devastator. So, next up is 8189, the Magma Mech from Power Miners. Power Miners kind of skipped me over, or I skipped it over, however you want to do it. But this is one of the neater mechs, I think, from that series. The color scheme of Power Miners was very strange, especially considering Rock Raiders, which is the one that I'm familiar with. So this thing just kind of went all out past that. He just looks really cool. He's got the giant drill with the huge, crazy accordion grabby arm. And he comes with one of the little baby rock monsters, which I don't have, and I'd love to have one of those guys. So, next up is 8080, the Undersea Explorer from Atlantis. This thing is cool, not just because it's a giant mech and it comes with this giant crazy fish, but the mech also transforms into a tank, which is pretty cool in my book. Lego Transformers, why don't we have more of them? I don't know. It was exclusive to Target in the US, so chances are I'll never ever see it. So, next up, speaking of Atlantis, is 7977, the Seabed Strider. Speaking of, small mini polybag type sets. This one is pretty much exactly like that. It's just this little mech with these little grabby arms. And of course it comes with Hammerhead Sharkman, which is always cool. I don't know if this one sort of transforms into something. Yes, it does. Of course it does. Looks like a lot of the Atlantis stuff did that, but this one it looks pretty good too. Again, transforming stuff. What's not to like about it? Everybody enjoys it. Next up is 8957, the Mine Mech, the smaller mech from the Power Miners, where they do their power mining, and it also comes with a baby rock monster. I guess that was a big draw with that series. I don't know. The minifig looks kind of funny too with his crazy goggles and whatnot, but this just looks like a fun little mech. I think it'd be fun to have. Next up is 8115, the Dark Panther. This is really cool for a mech from the Deep Jungle series of the Exoforce line. It's cool because in terms of animal mechs, something like lion or panther isn't really something that's seen much, unless you go with Chima, of course, in which case everything's shaped like a lion. But this one is really neat. It also has sort of two gun platforms on the back for other robots to stand on, and it's just a crazy color scheme. I think this thing looks really neat. I would love to have the Dark Panther. So, next up, this is a very recent set, 70145, Mawla's Ice Mammoth Stomper. That's a mouthful. It's the Chima AT-AT, which I think is really neat. I just really like all those transparent pieces. I love that it's got this vehicle sort of thing that detaches off the front of it. This is just a really neat set. Comes with some cool figs. I would love to see how big it is versus some of the other mechs I have. It looks like it would be vaguely like dropship sized, but it also looks like it might be something of a pain to put together. It is 604 pieces, so it's not actually that big. I don't think it's as big as the dropship. Oh well, I'll probably pick this up before too long. I might even do a live build of it. And last but not least is 70505, the Temple of Light. Now, this is another one. Hey, that's not a mech set. I mean, it's got a mech in it, so you can't really say that. But, I mean, the big feature is, of course, the Temple of Light. That is what it's named after. However, taking a look at this set in the store the other day, which my local Toys R Us actually still has a couple of these, hence my desire to pick it up. It still has a couple of them insanely overpriced, but what do you expect from Toys R Us? I was thinking about this set as I was looking at it, and of course, I love that giant mech, that golden mech with the crazy samurai helmet and all the swords coming off of it. That thing is awesome, and I would build it, and I would keep it together always. As for the Temple of Light, which is cool, but not really... I don't know, it seems way too large for what it is, and it seems kind of intense for just sort of a set piece. What I figured, looking at the pieces in there, would give me some awesome pieces to make a Chinese restaurant mock or something of the sort. A friend of mine suggested that all of the food would be served using the 4 elemental weapons of Spinjitzu, which I think would be hilarious, and is definitely something I would want to do. So this is another one. Maybe look for this coming in the future. Look for the Chinese restaurant mock that I would build out of the Temple of Light, in which case I feel like that's what the Chinese restaurant would have to be called. It also comes with Garmadon, which is cool, and Sensei Wu. But, so this is a set I might be picking up before too long. So, that was it for this episode of Mad Stacker's Most Wanted. I enjoyed making it. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Keep stacking.